I want you to have the best possible life you can have. And because it is true, it is very true, that what we think and what we feel ends up being what we attract into our lives, it is of the utmost important that we do what helps us have the best thinking and the best feelings. And what is that? Is it psychiatric drugs like the ones I was fed in my teenage years? Are those the thinkings that a psychologist might tell you that you should be putting in your head, or that a hypnotherapist tells you to repeat all day long from morning till dawn? Or should you be doing like I did many years, personal development inner work course? Are those going to fix the feelings that you feel, the the thoughts that you think every day? No, they might help, but they will not fix it. The only thing that fixes it, and I am saying it with great arrogance because I'm not saying that there is another way. I'm I'm very confident because I tried a lot of things. Not that there isn't another thing, but I don't think there is anything else that fixes, not helps, that fixes the problem, unless diet. If you read The Plant Paradox or Gut Check or whatever from Dr. Grundry, and you do as he says, which is remove grains, all grains, by far the worst. Remove nightshades, tomato, potato, eggplant, peppers, etc. Remove legumes, if and remove certain like nuts, like what's the name in English? Cashews and peanuts. If you do that, those three major groups plus one or two nuts, if you have, like I had, bipolar, it will go mostly below the rug. If you have the ADD, it will go mostly below the rug. Of course, this includes removing the sugars, the sweet foods. If you do that, you will feel 10 times, 100 times better than you felt before. But if you want perfection, which I do because I derive great inspiration from fellows like Siddhartha Gautama, the Buddha, or Jesus from Nazareth, the Christ. I want to be like those guys. I want to be as forgiving, as accepting, as loving, as nurturing to myself and to others. And that's why I'm doing a mostly fatty ruminant diet. Because it's what I find that allows me to get there. But why is that the case? Why doesn't a vegan diet allow you to be more loving? After all, you're not eating dead beings. It's weird. But I have to say, with some caution, but also let's be realistic. Even if there's a study that comes out, and this is what Anthony Chaffee, MD, said, and I find very funny. And the study says that rocks fall up. You know that's not to be true. And so why are we trusting some theories, some things that may make sense in paper if they don't translate to real life? Have you ever seen any videos of people going in front of trucks very unbalanced in their emotional health? And what were they eating? Ask yourself that. And have you ever seen any people going up to farms? Because I haven't seen this second type of videos, going up to farms and saying stop with this. And I mean farms in terms of agriculture. My conclusion is that what you feel, what you think, is a conclusion of your gut biome happiness. and balance. And thus, if you feed yourself with anti-nutrients, which most plants are filled with, your gut biome will not be very happy, and thus you will feel very pissed. Plus, you will have a very nutrient deficient diet, and thus your gut biome will not be very happy, and thus you will not be very happy as well. You can say, oh, but there are plenty of vegan athletes, but go check what they are consuming. Are they consuming raw foods? Are they consuming cooked foods? Are they consuming very little cooked foods and mostly protein powders and a lot, like a bunch, up to 111 supplements a day, with substances only found in animal products such as taurine, carnitine, carnosine, choline, EPA, DHA, B12, K2, etc., etc. Substances that might be able to be present in plant foods like creatine, but in very trace amounts, very negligible. And thus, if you feed yourself a mostly animal diet and actually fatty ruminant based, you'll get the most nutrient density in your diet with the least amount of anti-nutrient, whether they're phytates, lectins, oxalates. You will have very little of those. And because you're consuming little to no fiber, I mean, if you just eat beef, fatty lamb, fatty goat, or deer, or elk, or bison, it's zero fiber. It's zero anti-nutrients. I imagine your gut biome is going to be very happy, and you too. You will feel as energized as you ever felt after the transitional phase, and you will be better than ever in all sorts of terms. You will be more loving with yourself, more forgiving with yourself. You'll have better focus. You'll have more peace, more inner peace. You'll be more satisfied with life. You will find less need for stimulation. Just yesterday, and I need to be careful how I say this, not to offend anyone. I saw a family which consumes mostly, from what I understood, animal products, but they do consume all sorts of plant foods, including potatoes and maize, and they do pizzas at home and whatnot. And they are very careful in how they treat the plant anti-nutrients, how they reduce them with all sorts of traditional ways. But I checked the guy's son uses braces. I checked, I also needed to use braces, and I still need to use braces, and I did the traditional, like, modern diets, and thus I am one of the proofs that modern diets are not as healthy as they should be. I still have vegan deterioration proofs in my body. I looked at his daughter, and they have been doing this type of diet for a little while. She's a little bit on the overweight side. She has separated teeth. She uses glasses, and thus, even though they are consuming very little plant toxins and very treated like to be as little as possible, I don't see health in these kids. And those I cannot recommend unless I'm negligent and I'm not doing a public service. I cannot recommend anyone to consume any sort of plant foods unless it's fruit or flowers or other type of plant tissue that falls naturally to the ground. from the moment they're peeled and seeded or shelled. Unless it's those cases, I cannot be irresponsible and say, yeah, go rob the tree of its bark, go rob it of its leaves that allow it to get energy from the sun, go rob it from its tubers that allow it to survive in times of less sun or less humidity or less soil nutrients. Go rob the plant. No, don't rob the plant. Allow it to give when it wants to give, and then you go grab its offerings. And this is the way I feel. This is and I personally have antibodies to even figs, which I don't remember ever buying from the supermarket. I don't remember eating any figs unless they were from either our trees or some neighbor or family member trees. And I have like so much antibodies to figs, to apple, to oranges, that the measuring device that they used at the clinic to do my blood work can't detect the actual number of antibodies. It's so high that they say, oh, it's upper of this number. And they are fruits, even olives, even honey, and you can imagine grains and legumes and all sorts of vegetables, including broccoli and cauliflower, carrots, all sorts of potatoes for sure, like through the roof, also max number. The only things that didn't trigger my antibodies, meaning the only things that didn't damage my body, were most fish and all meats. I still have sea bass as triggering my antibodies. I imagine it's because I ate a lot of aquaculture, sea bass. Thus, it was not the fish tissues by itself that damaged me, but the pesticides slash hormones slash antibiotics slash genetically modified DNA slash corn and soy in those sea bass tissues. And I'm also intolerant to eggs and to dairy, and I imagine it's the same type of deal, meaning the chicken ate a lot of things that it shouldn't eat. It was supplemented with stuff supplemented. It is certainly our ancient ancestor didn't supplement poultry with or any other animals, and thus I think that leaks to the eggs, and thus when I ate eggs they damaged my body. And I do a fatty ruminant diet not only because I prefer it, and I do, but because it's the only thing I can truly be relaxed doing for as long as it's fresh meat because of histamines. Thank you so much for watching. If you also are inspired by a Christ being, a Buddha state, any sort of higher consciousness, any sort of being conscious of more things, of opening or broadening your field of view. So if life is 360 degrees and most of us start by seeing like 8%, let's try to go up to 80% at least. And that is what my videos, 80 degrees, I mean. Because I know for sure I haven't gone further than that in terms of field of view, in terms of consciousness. There is way too much to grow in terms of soul development, and if you watch my videos, you can broaden up your field of view, your consciousness, the number of things you realize that contribute to the inner workings of life. And it will always be of your advantage to know more things. But if you still want to go to church or pray or whatever, do so, because the most important thing is that you feel comfortable in your own skin and that you are a good citizen to yourself, to your family, to the people around you. So the way you get there is mostly irrelevant. Some people might find it more comfortable and more their own style to do one sort of way and others other way. Please do leave a comment, share your own experiences, ask a question, feel free. Subscribe you like this type of content, share this video. I certainly appreciate if you do so. And thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.